It started with Lou, a 10-year-old Bichon Frise I adopted in 2008. We initially thought he was 2 years old because he was so cute and behaved like a puppy. When he finally was seen at the vet, he turned out to be 10 years old. But I still wanted him because he was the perfect dog. He looked like a show dog the whole time, and he was so well behaved and dignified, if you could use that adjective on dogs. And people kept on telling me, "You saved his life, you saved his life." And I wondered what they meant. And later on, I realized that senior dogs are highly put to sleep in shelters, which was a revelation to me. And I thought, had I known initially that Lou was 10 years old, would I have gotten him? And what a huge thing in my life I would have missed had I not taken Lou just because I knew he was a senior. So I think senior dogs rock. And since Lou, I've had at least 5 more senior dogs that I adopted. Now, Bitty Bear was the oldest dog I adopted. He probably was 16 or 17. But the care of Bitty just stretched my heart to the fullest because, I had to take him to the vet a lot just for checkups, and he needed extra care. Like, I had to clean his eyes a lot, and later on in his life, I had to put diapers on him, and I was thinking, hey, this is how mothers must feel, because I'm a single woman with no kids, and Bitty Bear gave me an idea of how mothering was.
What happened to Bitty Bear?
Bitty Bear. Well, Bitty Bear lived with me for 2 years. He taught me a lot about the resilience of dogs that humans can learn from, because he was old. He had Cushing's disease, he had kidney disease, he had no teeth, but he thought he owned my house. He thought he owned the block. He walked with a swagger. So, and he was so cheerful even when we were at the vet that he was a vet favorite. Everyone knew him. After 2 years, Bitty had to go, and it was my first experience where my dog passed away, and it taught me how to let go, even when it hurts you, because you don't want to see your pet suffer.
Lovely.
Chisk. Shishko. Cisco. Look at Vicky. Look at Vicky. Smile, Cisco. He goes, I can't smile. I only have 6 teeth. I'd rather not.
Okay, lovely.
All right, so tell us about it.
Well, I lived in Philadelphia, and Cisco was in Manhattan's death row, and he was about to be put to sleep. It was around 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and the shelter was closing at 7 o'clock. And I kept on saying, if I drive to New York, I can still save his life. And I said, no, I couldn't possibly get another dog. I had 2 dogs then. But then the time kept on ticking, and it was like 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, and I kept on saying, I can still get there, I can still get there. And finally I decided, you know what, I think I should save this guy. So I went to Manhattan, and I rescued Cisco. His post on social media said that he was a depressed Chihuahua. So how could I resist a depressed Chihuahua? I'm a psychiatrist. So that's how Cisco got to be my dog. He goes, I can't smile. I only have 6 teeth. Benny. Cisco. Cisco does not like being not the center of attention. Benji, say hi.
Go back out to check the shop a little bit.
Yeah,
Okay, or should we wind up?
no, it shouldn't be wide enough.
And tell us about
Benji. Benji was going to be hard to adopt out from a shelter because he had a broken thigh bone, which is very expensive to fix. Now, I wasn't intending to adopt Benji, but I just donated for him to be transported from California to Seattle, where there was a vet who did free surgeries on major surgeries on dogs. So Benji arrived in Seattle, and I called and I made sure he got there safely. And every week I'd call and just to check that he was fine, he was recovering well. But when Benji got better, the vet's assistant called me and said, you've been his angel. We'd really like you to take him. And so they brought him here from Seattle. They brought him to New Jersey from Seattle because they wanted to make sure Benji ended up with me. Right, Ben? Ben was at the vet for 6 months. You gotta smile, darling. Shalina, kiss mom. I thought you loved to kiss. Why don't you kiss me? Okay, let me kiss you. No, you're not feeling like kissing? Selena, you're not feeling like kissing? Huh? No, 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 no. Say hi. Selena, you're usually not like this. Chihuahuas are not my favorite breed, but they're the second most euthanized breed in shelters, and so I have 3 of them. And Chihuahuas grow on you. They're very affectionate, very loyal, and you become so fond of them. Now, Selena, once again, social media helped her adoption. They said that she was rather plain looking with some hair loss, and they were afraid she wouldn't be adopted in time before she was going to be on the euthanasia list. And I knew the rescuer well, and I said, just give me the dog who's most in danger. And it was Selena. And once again, looks can be misleading because she is the most affectionate. She's the favorite of all of my visitors, guests at home, because she tries to seduce everyone with kisses. She's just shy now. That's why she's not kissing me. Okay. On. Fluffy. Come on, Fluffers. Dino. How do they look? Dina.
Thank you.
Okay. So with this Bichon Friches, I was planning to go get younger dogs. So Dino, on the right, was 2 years old when I saw him on social media. And he had the cutest Bichon Frise face. And I let the shelter know I wanted to get him. I wasn't available to pick up Dino, so a friend of mine did. And she said, you know what? Dino is blind. And he came with a friend who's his seeing eye dog. And it turns out to be that he was 10 years old. So here I was, back to adopting another senior dog, Tino. Is that better? Or should I repeat?
That was good.
Yeah. He says he wants to tell his story himself. Ay. Penner. Spencer is my youngest adoption. I adopted him when he was about 6 months old. I was just involved in helping Spencer get bailed out of a shelter. And later on, I realized the rescuer had abandoned him. And from California, he had been trafficked across state lines and had ended up in Georgia. But someone recognized him because of the stripe down his face and the fact that he was very nervous. And somehow it reached me that Spencer was in Georgia. And as fate would have it, the rescue that took him was a Philadelphia rescue. And, I just visited Spencer and I thought it was time he should have a home. And I took him. So fate brought Spencer to me. Spencer to this day is very nervous. In my home with me and his sibling dogs, he's very calm, comfortable, and confident. But as soon as there are strangers in the home, he is tense and he will be barking a lot. Penner. You love me though, right? You love me? Give me a kiss. Penner, give me a kiss. Spencer, give me a kiss. Spencer, you love your mommy. Spencer, give me a kiss. No? No? No. It's okay. It's okay. Why are you nervous? Why are you nervous? Mwah. Actually, I adopt seniors or special needs dog. That's what I remember because she was young. So Dora was relatively young compared to the other dogs I adopted. She was 5 years old when I got her. But she was severely malnourished. She was only 12 pounds, and now her normal weight is 20 pounds. A year ago, Dora became blind, and it's a big adjustment for her. And I have had to take special care to make sure that it's not too traumatic for her to lose her vision.
What have you done?
For one thing is I can't move around furniture too much at home, so things are fixed and she doesn't bump into things. Dora also tips the water bowls a lot, and I try not to scold her because it's not her fault. And I still take her on her walks, and I keep her on a short leash to make sure she doesn't bump into things.
What kind of personality has Dora got?
She's my mopey dog even before she got blind. And I used to call her Missy Dora. Missy as a shortcut for miserable. It's a bad joke because when I found out that her previous owners left her outside the house for days and she would not get fed for days. And so Dora's owners got a new puppy, and Dora was not very nice to the new puppy, and at that point Dora's fate was sealed and she was taken to the shelter.